What is up, guys? Go to TV back with another video. In today's video we get the 2Hype drama yet again. TD has finally dropped the heat on YouTube, exposing 2Hype, telling his side of the story. It's a 30-minute long video, so I'll be going over the whole video and all parts of it briefly on this video. Make sure you stick around. I'll be covering the whole timeline with 2Hype in this video, so let's get right into it. So TD began the video by saying that he did not want to make this video. Only reason he made it because in LSK's deleted video he was talking very reckless and manipulating all the text and everything, and also because of the tweets Jidel put out about him and Los. So about the Jidel tweets, TD basically says that 2Hype never recorded at his place. They would never reach out to him to record videos, but he would always reach out to 2Hype, asking about when you want to record videos and all of that. And he saw a bunch of text messages about this. If you want to look at those text messages, I will leave a link to his video down in the description. Make sure you check it out. Next up, TD reacts to the LSK video, and he says that LSK claimed that he never talked shit behind TD's back, but TD proves that LSK sent him a message apologizing for talking shit behind TD's back. And if you want to see that screenshot again, I'll leave his link in the description. Next up, TD goes into detail about this one person who was close with 2Hype, and especially Zach and Chris. And that person also got snaked by 2Hype, but they had access to all of their text messages and everything. So they sent TD all the messages where Chris and Zach talked shit about them, and one of the messages was about Los, where they said Los never apologizes. Well, LSK said that in his video, that Los never apologized for everything he did. But then once Los actually sent an apology to Chris, and he said that they were making fun of it. Zach and Chris were making fun of the apology behind their back, and yet they have audacity to claim that they never apologized. Next up in this video, TD goes into detail about the whole Bree situation, where LSK claimed that TD made him and his girlfriend Bree uncomfortable by sleeping or trying to sleep in the same bed with boxers. But TD claims that him and Bree were always cool, and they would always joke around with LSK, and he has some text messages that were of them just joking, and if he were to expose them, it would cause a lot of trouble. But he just says that him and Bree were always trying to prank and joke around with LSK with that type of stuff. And he also said that he took pictures for Bree's Instagram, and LSK would never complain about that. And he said that he apologized to LSK that if he ever made him or Bree uncomfortable, he was sorry for that. But LSK claims that TD never apologized. Next up, he talks about the situation with the landlord's daughter, and TD says that he never held hands with her or did anything inappropriate with her, and all the things LSK is saying is basically just lies. And about the landlord situation, TD got into a lot of trouble because even when he left the house, they would never fix. LSK and 2Hype caused so many problems to the house, and the landlord was close with TD, so he would always DM or text TD, and he would have to deal with all of those problems. Next up, TD talks about the call that got leaked in the Discord when 2Hype was kicking TD and Los. He basically said that you guys see what's happening. I got kicked for business reasons. Nothing had to do with personal, and they're just trying to make up shit to make him look good. And then he goes on to call Mopey, and Mopey also says that since he was on the other side, he had more information on what TD was kicked, and he says that he had to do with business reasons because they wanted to cut down the business share from 9 to 6, so they get more money. Then Mopey also says that they're just trying to manipulate a lot of things, and his video will be coming out soon. I'll be going over that as well. But Mopey's just trying to say they did the same thing with me, and basically just trying to manipulate a lot of things. Next up, TD goes over the whole 2Hype timeline that he was part of. He basically said that he was one of the core 4 member of 2Hype. Zach, Chris, and Zesser started the 2K house. They invited him because he was like a YouTuber who also did sports gaming. And people always say that 2Hype made TD, but that's not true because TD says that before he joined 2Hype, he was pulling like 300k views on every video. And basically he helped 2Hype getting followers and new viewers because he was doing Madden at the time, and he's still doing Madden only, which introduced a whole new group of audience to 2Hype. And the same thing happened with him, where 2Hype, who was doing basketball, and 2K introduced a new audience to TD. So it was a mutual relationship. They both helped each other out. Then next up, he says how him and Los were seen as the lazy ones in the house. They did nothing. But he shows that he was the one responsible for finding the 2-hype house, the first 2-hype house, the one with like the swimming pool and the half court. But he says that he had a good credit score and he helped them find that house. And even then, when they moved into that house, he was responsible for utilities, gas, everything like that. And even when he took a step back from YouTube because his mom got sick, and when he went to help her on the East Coast, he had to take care of all these things even then, and he would still help 2-hype with all their bills and all of that thing. So the narrative of him and Los being lazy is not true because TD says he did all this thing for 2-hype. TD talks about when he moved out from the 2-hype house because his mom got sick and he had to take care of her. So he moved out for 11 months, and then Jester's brother Jidel, he started doing YouTube, and 2-hype gave him his room, and TD's like all cool with it. He gave him his 5,000 bed and everything. And then TD, when he comes back to LA, when he moves back to LA, he didn't have no house, so he moved in with his best friend Walker. And then when 2-hype did make when 2-hype did get the new house, the recent house they have, the 2-hype house, he was promised a room, and so was Los. But out of the blue, before a couple months of the new house, 2-hype just randomly kicked TD, and they said nothing about it. And we see in the leak call that they did kick him, but TD says that when they did kick him, they didn't give any of his things back. Like in the new house tour, they were showing off all these things that that were TD's, but they never said it was TD's. So all these posters, all the gym equipment, fire pit, couch, bed, and everything TD had in the old house, 2-hype brought it over to this house and never gave it back, even though TD asked for it back. At last, TD talks about Jester. He says that Jester ghosted him after he got kicked from 2-hype. Jester never reached out to him, not once, forever. And then Jester once made a video that TD blocked him on Twitter, and Jester wants to reach out to TD, but he can't. But then TD says that you ghosted me forever, and you have my number. All of you have my number. You can just reach out to me. So he's just saying that all this is his cap. Him and Jester are no longer friends, and they will never be friends again. And he said Jester was he considered Jester one of his best friends. Him and Walker were his two best friends. But now they would never be in videos together, according to TD. And then at last, he says that he never pushed for Walker to be in 2-hype. It was the fake audition. That's why Walker was gonna be in 2-hype. But all of that is history now. I hope you got information from this video. I try to keep it short. I know it's a little long, but I just cut down all the main information and put into this video. I will leave TD's link in the description. Make sure you check out the full video, and peace.